Good afternoon. My name is Scott Picken. I'm from IPS, or International Property Solutions. We've helped over 2,000 people invest internationally to a value of 1.6 billion rand. I wanted to tell you a true story about two brothers. And for the purposes of this, I'm going to call them John and Pete. Now, I think this story is very, very pertinent because I personally am very passionate about South Africa. But I also think that it is very important to have a plan B so that you can have that peace of mind. Now let me give you an example of what I talk about. There were two brothers, John and Pete. I met these two brothers about 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago. Now John said to me that he was happy, he had a business here in South Africa and he was going to stay in South Africa. But what he wanted to do was he wanted to accumulate assets overseas in Australia while living in South Africa. Pete, on the other hand, Pete was concerned about the future of South Africa. So what he did is he got on an aeroplane, he sold up his business and his assets here in South Africa, and he moved over to Australia. Now my question is to you, what do you think happened with these two brothers? Because 18 months later, it's a tragic tale for one, and a great story for the other. Pete, the one that moved to Australia, to this day, is still unemployed. Although I warned him and said to him, please buy a property based on your South African income, based on the income from your business and the assets that you hold here. He didn't do it, and when he got to Australia, he was not able to get a mortgage because he had no income to show for it. He was not able to start a business because he didn't have the knowledge or the business landscape or the networks. He wasn't even able to find a job. And 18 months later, Pete is living a very impoverished life in Australia. And the sad thing is that John is actually supporting his brother and their family in Australia. John, on the other hand, John has now bought 3 Australian properties. He continually builds an asset base. He builds an asset base that is in a foreign income. It's in a first world currency and a first world economy. Not only has he got an asset base, but he's also got an income stream. And I was talking to John a couple of days ago, and he said yes, he gets concerned every now and again, particularly when people like Julius Malema say funny things. But you know, at the end of the day, he sleeps well every single night. And the reason being is that he's got a plan B in place. It provides him with that peace of mind. So my question is, do you want to be John or Pete? You know, when I spoke to John, he had no plans of leaving South Africa and said he probably never would. Certainly if he had his way, he never would. But what he's going to continue doing is accumulating assets overseas so that he's building his net asset value in first world incomes and in a first world economy. And that allows him to take advantage here in South Africa, a fantastic economy with huge opportunity and certainly a higher growth rate. But then what he does is he's got wealth preservation. He migrates some of his wealth overseas so that it's protected. And his poor brother Pete, well, Pete continues to live a very sorry life in Australia, not creating any asset base, having no foreign income, having selling up his assets and his business here in South Africa. He's got nothing to fall back on, except for his brother, who had the foresight to start building an empire. So what is the moral of the story? For me, I love South Africa. I'm passionate about it. I think there's fantastic opportunity here. But as Clem Santa said, I was at a talk of his recently, you need to take into account the percentage of what you believe in the future. No one can guarantee the future. So what I believe the wisest thing to do is to build an asset base overseas, to build an offshore income stream, so that you can have the best of both worlds. You can live in South Africa. You can enjoy this magnificent country. But you can have peace of mind. You can have a plan B. And know that no matter what the outcomes in the future, you have a solution, not only for you, but for your family. I believe so strongly about this because I believe that it is so important for all South Africans. So please, come and learn from us. There are 5 dangerous trends which are affecting South Africans today. You need to understand these. You need to have a solution for these. But then also you need to understand that over 80% of people that invest overseas lose money. So please read our free report. on the 5 fundamental things you need to know before you invest overseas. And please, be John. Sleep well at night. And don't end up like Peter's brother, because no one deserves that after having worked so hard and built up their life in one country before moving to another country. Thank you. Please go to our website www.ipsinvest.com for more information, and I look forward to helping you achieve everything that you would like to in your future. Thank you.